All right, hello folks. Welcome to Norwood High School. I'm Joe Pinola, alongside Mike Lodge, who is Norwood Girls Lacrosse, former coach. Mike knows this program just about as well as anybody. So Mike, pleasure to get to do this with you. And away we go as Norwood takes on Bellingham, playing the Blackhawks here in a very early whistle as we start the first of our 4 12-minute quarters.
Yep, it's, Bellingham came up with the opening draw and decided to just take it straight to the cage and get themselves to the 8-meter.
That's it. So Bellingham is going to work right off the bat. For Norwood, 5-3 this season. They've had a pretty successful start under first-year head coach now, as a nice save is made there by Allie Mannering.
Oh, nice clear. Nice, Allie.
And she outlets that well. Norwood has a first-year head coach, Chrissy Pisa, assisted by Julia Bonist. And Bellingham has a second-year head coach for their team. That's Sarah Salient. So interesting to see these two young coaches going at it. Two schools that on the rise a little bit. Bellingham's program has struggled a little bit so far this season, but last year they had more wins than they've had in the last few, and they're hoping to build off that as the season really kind of enters the meat of the schedule.
Yeah, Norwood continuing their growth in the program. Good start to the season. And Bellingham, had a good battle, 1-goal loss to Norton. And every time we played Norton, it was always a rock fight. It was just a tough battle.
I think we've covered some games when you were coaching against Norton, and you're right. It's always been super close. But this year, Norwood had their way with Norton, winning 2 games, putting up 19 goals in the most recent game. So the Mustangs hoping that offensive explosion can continue. In fact, they've scored double digits in every one of the games that they've won this year. So now Norwood with a chance here at that 8-meter mark. Let's see if they're able to get put one past.
O'Neill. Yep, freshman Allie O'Neill on the 8-meter.
So Allie wearing number 15 moves in. And gets Norwood on the board right away.
Yep.
So we talked about how good Norwood has been offensively lately, and just about a minute and 51 seconds into this contest, Norwood has a 1-0 lead, courtesy of the freshman Allie O'Neill.
So in talking to Coach Pisa before the game, she said then you were talking about the Norton game. Offensively, that was their best consistent offensive performance. They had 9 different goal scorers for the game, which is huge.
And Norwood hoping that they can get a lot of different players into this contest as well and see if that is something that continues, getting scoring in bunches and from a variety of different places. So Bellingham now showing some good chase on the draw, but Norwood picks up the ground ball here on the far side.
It's like Bridget Sopel with the draw control.
Bridget Sopel, who, Mike, you were thinking might be playing some D today, but it looks like she's getting now a chance in the offensive end.
Yeah, I think we might have her. She's switching out now.
She's one of those versatile players. I know you had the pleasure of coaching her.
Yeah, so she just rotated out, and Emily Spud, she's just so good and valuable in all ends of the field. You put her up on the circle, she comes up with it, gets the offense set, and then comes back to the defensive end.
So Norwood now trying to connect here on a pass. They move on inside. A little bit of a check there from Bellingham. Here's Quinn Brown once again behind the net for the Mustangs.
Keep coming.
Looking for an opportunity. Moves around number 22 and kicks it on over again. Norwood showing a lot of patience
Emma Penza
here.
On the roll.
Penza throws this one on goal. We hear a whistle coming in. Not sure exactly what the timing was on that.
I think Emma's going to get herself to the 8-meter here.
All right, another opportunity here for Norwood. So whistles have been kind of the story early on. Penza now will get a chance to add here to Norwood's lead, which is 1-0. We're only 3 minutes into the contest. And so we'll wait for the mark.
Rip it.
Penza comes on in, and beautiful shot from her. Emma Penza connects on the goals. So Norwood has 2 goals in the contest, both courtesy of freshmen at the moment. So the future looks quite bright. And also, so does the outlook of this game very early on, and a beautiful day here in very, very late April.
Yep, I've seen Emma play before. It's got a very, very hard shot. It was just a step and a half and let it rip. Talking to some of the seniors today, they all seem to have the common theme of the contributions by the freshmen this year. They're very talented, and they're very excited for the future of the program.
Norwood Youth Lacrosse has kind of been on the rise. I know you've been helping out, calling some games for them from up here.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. That was a long day.
All right. But nice to see the youth program obviously building here in Norwood, which is one of the key things to kind of keep the success at the varsity level. So here comes Bellingham as we get an early look at their offense. Number 2 is Lucy Walden. She's a senior captain who dishes it over for them a moment ago. And Walden now kicks it to the side here. Number 20 with it just a moment ago is Caden Shea, another senior. So this is a pretty experienced team for Bellingham. They had 3 wins, I believe, last season, which, although not super strong, that was the high water mark for their program, at least recently. So they are still a relatively new program, under 20 years, even competing at the varsity level in Bellingham. And they certainly had quite a long ride here today. Number 10 for Bellingham gets tripped up a little bit. That's Samantha McNamara. Bellingham puts it on the ground, and let's see who's able to come away with this scramble. We're going to hear a whistle before the resolution of that. I think things are going to be going Norwood's direction.
Shea Larkey comes out of the pile with it.
Nice work from Shea. She's a name that we call quite often up here.
Yes, you do.
Continuing her field hockey career next year at Cornell, and we also saw Shea on the swimming and diving front, contributing on the diving team. Nice save there by the Bellingham keeper as number 17 Emily Spadorsha moved in there. Had a little bit of a lane, but tell you, number 27 Gianna Padula, who is a freshman keeper for Bellingham, she is going to have her hands full with this Norwood offense that can score from a variety of different places.
Yeah, great cut by Em. Great pass, and just didn't finish.
So now Bellingham has the whole field to look towards. Here's number 24, not listed on our roster, so apologies that we can't attribute that play on Bellingham. But we do have number 22, Shannon Marino, another freshman with them, who is showing some pretty good speed as she gets around Spadorsha. Here's the pass up for number 33 on Bellingham. Watched the whole way by number 24, Charlotte Martino for the Mustangs. 33 is Abby Pelletier. And now Bellingham coming in and dunking it through for the goal. I think that was number 1, Mike?
Yep.
As we get, we'll check that out on our cameras. But if so, that's Rihanna Taylor, a senior, who gets the goal for the Blackhawks. So 2-1. Bellingham maybe could have let this game get away from them, but they respond to Norwood's 2 goals by putting in one of their own.
Yeah, nice transition for Bellingham. Great job by Charlotte Martino. Keep that player to the outside, force her behind the net. Once they got it up to number 1, she just got to step on her defender. At that point, there's really not much you can do. Allie 1-on-1 right there. It's a tough ask of the goalie.
Obviously, playing goal in lacrosse is
it's a lonely position.
It's some people's idea of fun, but you got to have a certain mindset to do it.
Yeah.
And Allie Mannering has been fantastic. Only a sophomore for Norwood, and she has contributed in a variety of ways here.
Up over 200 career saves this year. Hit it a couple weeks ago.
Absolutely. So, that is a position where you're going to take some welts
Yeah.
as you go on through. And I know you had some different girls stepping up for you over your career, and Norwood happy to get somebody in there as a freshman last year who now really is coming into her own.
Yep, absolutely.
So the Mustangs now will see if they can respond to the Bellingham goal from a moment ago.
Got the ISO play here for Shea.
Let's see what Shea's able to do. Shaking and
rip.
baking, getting around one defender, takes a hard shot, but doesn't quite go. Good defense there from number 22, Shannon Marino for the Blackhawks.
Yep, so Shea will end up on the 8-meter. Again, there's a shooting space, so they overload one side, give it to the athlete at the top, let Shea make something happen, and one of the defenders slid over and just ended up in no man's land, and here we are with the shooting space in the 8-meter.
So Shea will wait for the whistle. Norwood has already scored 2 goals on this so far. Shea gets a good step and connects for the goal.
Same thing for the Bellingham goalie. You've got number 19 coming down on you. It's probably not going to end very well for you. Shea with the nice goal off of the 8-meter.
So Shea Larkey makes it 3-1 Mustangs. We're about roughly halfway through this first quarter. The game flying by. If you're just joining us, JV was on earlier as the Mustangs kind of get a little bit of some cooler temperatures here with the sun starting to go down. Nice to see a lot of the varsity team out here supporting JV and vice versa. We've got a decent crowd on hand.
Yep, perfect day. We've got our first substitution. Meghan Malloy is checked in for Norwood, given looks like Emily Spud her first break of the day.
A very well-deserved break. Emily does a lot of running out there. She's got some good speed.
Sure does.
And Malloy, a sophomore, will get the chance here at the midfield spot. So let's see what Bellingham's able to do. Taking it away with possession is Lucy Walden as she heads down the far side. Sometimes a little bit tough for us to see the far side of the field, but we will do our best as things continue on. Bellingham now behind the net. Walden still with possession here. 5:20 to go remaining in the first quarter. Setting up a play there. Thought she might hit number 22 on the cut. And Bellingham will chase to try to keep possession.
And they will.
Good work from Norwood and some good effort there on the far side, not giving up on the play. Is that Charlotte Martino near her? I can't quite tell.
I think that's Allie.
Number 15, it looks like. So that's Allie O'Neill.
Yep. Charlotte's generally down around the crease, does a really good job denying the crease rolls. She's down there now, so it looks like Allie's giving chase now behind.
Here's Sophia Jandro, a sophomore, wearing number 15 for Bellingham. Bellingham certainly happy to take their time and let plays develop. It worked out for them so far, but that one just kind of an unforced error, missed opportunity for the Blackhawks.
That'll be a Norwood ball.
Sometimes those fundamentals are the most important things. I'm sure you've preached that a bunch as a coach.
Throwing and catching.
Absolutely. So Norwood is able to do a nice job of that as they get it to Larkey here near the near sidelines. She's dispossessed of it for a moment, but does a nice job collecting the ground ball in stride. And here she comes. Larkey right at the top of that arc, still with it, takes the shot on net. And that is denied. Bellingham comes away with it.
No, it looks like it. Evan fighting
Maybe
for
not.
it now.
Evan O'Neill is in that scrum for Norwood. The Mustangs eventually do come away with it, and they will get another shot on offense.
Allie O'Neill coming up with a loose ball.
Larkey doing a really nice job of basically covering the entire field. I imagine she's going to want to catch her breath a little bit after that.
Yep.
But let's see what the Mustangs now able to do.
That's what they do. Just get it around. Let the middies catch their breath. Maybe set up a play. Oh, here comes Allie on. Looks like a little ISO here. They're moving.
Allie has the first goal for the Mustangs. Does a little bit of a duck there. Takes the shot. Nice save from the Bellingham goalie. Is that something you see the team work in, that they're going to intentionally slow things down when somebody makes a long run to kind of catch your breath?
It depends. If defense is back and kind of settled, and your mids have just made a big run there, Shea just went end to end. So yeah, you kind of want to get the ball around, let them catch their breath, and get set up. And here's Allie.
Allie with another chance, and she connects. So Norwood's got 4 goals, 2 of them courtesy of Allie O'Neill, as she had the opening salvo in this contest. But now, 9 minutes into the contest, all 4 have come from that 8-meter mark. So Norwood doing a really nice job capitalizing on those opportunities. They're 4 for 4 in that regard.
Yep, and that opportunity starts on the defensive end. Defense does a nice job of causing the turnover. They get the ball to Allie. Allie's such a weapon in the transition game. Nice outlet to Shea. Off they go. Set up the offense and end up with an 8-meter goal.
So Bellingham searching for some more goals. Norwood has thrown down the gauntlet with 4 already here in the first quarter. As we mentioned earlier, the Mustangs put up 19 goals. I believe that was in their last game against Norton. They really handled Norton the last couple of days, and they will get some rest to close out the week with their next game coming against Medway on Monday.
That's going to be a big one. Medway's tough.
That'll be a team, I imagine, that you guys are always involved in a dogfight with. Huh?
Correct.
Kind of along the Holliston lines?
Yep, we split with them, but it's funny. We neither one could win at home. We beat them twice there. They beat us twice here.
Battle of the Mustangs, I guess, right?
Yep, but they're good. It's a good competitive game. That's what you want. You want the team out there competing at the same level and hopefully pull away.
And Bellingham against Norwood in the last contest was relatively competitive. Mike, you were saying it was a super cold day, so obviously some strategies a little bit different on either side.
Yeah, I think
Norwood
everybody trying to hold their stick couldn't feel their sticks. That's what I'm hearing.
Absolutely. Some of those fundamentals go out the window a little bit when you're dealing with that.
A little bit.
But Norwood did come away with a 12-7 win. That was in Bellingham, as these two teams will play each other twice on the schedule this year. So here's number 1, Rihanna Taylor, She has the lone Bellingham goal so far. Shannon Marino is somebody we've also seen a lot of, as she is there right at that top of the arc. Dishes it over to her right for number 15, Sophia Jandro. Looking for an opportunity. She'll kick it back to Marino. 2:08 to go, and Bellingham certainly happy with playing a little pitch and catch until they see the opportunity they want. Mustang defense staying with them the whole way. Good work there at the top from Allie O'Neill defensively. Bellingham tries to get through, but number 2, Lucy Walden, throws it on the ground, and another whistle with 1:50.
Yeah, she got a step on her defender, and they just kind of reached, get the illegal check there, and they're going to end it. They're going to put her on the 12.
Yep, so we will see Walden back up a little bit. Now move forward.
Yep, back up to the 8. So they'll get that 8-meter, and let's see what Allie can do here.
So let's see. Here comes the shot on Mannering. Nice play from her, and add another save to the ledger of Allie Mannering that's growing already as a sophomore.
Yep.
Good outlet pass for the Mustangs as well, but unfortunately it goes quickly over the head of, I think that was number 26,
that was
Quinn Brown.
Yep, and Emma Penza there to clean it up, and here comes Spud.
Spud with some space, moves in and dunks it through.
With the cross, the Canadian toss there. Got her hands crossed up, and good for Spud.
Emily Spadorcia moving into some open space, and she's got the 5th goal for the Mustangs so far to get today. The first one that comes from just regular play, not off of a penalty.
Not off, yep. And again, goes back to this doesn't happen if Allie doesn't make that save. Got the good quick stick down between her feet, outlet pass. Emma does a nice job backing up Quinn on the draw, and then Miss I Do Everything, Emily Spadorcia gets the reward.
Absolutely. So Spadorcia happy to connect on that. So Norwood has 4 different goal scorers today. Obviously the 2 from Ellie O'Neill and the one that started the game, but now Penza, Larkey, and Spadorcia are on the scoreboard as the shadows start to creep in there along the far side of the field. Time winding down. We're in the final minute of the first quarter, but Norwood, with their offense on the field, will try to add one more before we go into a short break. Larkey battling here at the top with number 15. That looks like Jandro for Bellingham.
Yeah, Shea got called for the push, dropped the ball, and trying to get it back. Just get the push. Here's Evan O'Neill.
And that will give the Blackhawks an opportunity, but O'Neill certainly pestering there. Number 1, Rihanna Taylor.
Stay with it.
Evan kind of pushing her there along the far side as those two battle a little
Allie
bit more.
pops out. Oh.
And a little bit of a mishandle from Mannering, but she's a nice job keeping her composure.
There you go, Spud.
So Spadorcia now. 14 seconds left. If the Mustangs want to put up another goal, they're going to have to hurry here.
It's a great transition right here. Get it to the cage. Go ahead, Allie.
They're in the middle of the field. Let's see what Allie O'Neill does. She ducks back. 2 defenders are on her. Doesn't get the shot off. And time, it looks like, will almost expire. What is she
going to get? She's on the 12. Yeah, she's just going to have to rip it from there or eat it.
So not a whole lot of time. 0.7 seconds. Allie O'Neill at the 12-meter mark, trying to add to her total. It's a low shot. It goes wide of the net. But either way, Mike, a strong first quarter for Norwood. They're on pace to put up 20 the way that things are going with 5 goals in the first quarter. But obviously they had some really good success from that 8-meter line, and that's been the difference so far.
Yep. Yeah, the biggest thing the takeaway here is their transitions. That was always kind of a thorn in our side. Some days we were really good at it. Other days it was a little sloppy. It's been 4 or 5 really clean transitions to get themselves set up into their offense. So it's good to see.
You gotta like to see that as a coach who knows a lot about this program. And Norwood, we were talking about this before the game. We got a couple alumni that are playing now at the college level. I know your daughter had a tough year with injury, but she's excited to get going for
she's
the year
out
that's
at school.
coming up.
She had a knee injury, had some surgery in February, but her team ends up winning the MAC conference for the first time in program history. So she's out at the championship tournament right now. Olivia Naughton's out at Springfield. I've been following them on their Instagram page, and she's had a couple videos with goals in it, and she's doing well. And then back to my first year, freshman year captain, was Caroline Davey, who's finishing up her 4 years at Stonehill. She's been a really, really big part of that program there. Just a really good athlete, fast, intelligent player, and was a key piece for the Skyhawks.
So Mustang Lacrosse is making its impact. And,
right, feel the wave. It's coming.
Absolutely. And Norwood also even bringing back some of its own. You were excited that Allie McDonough is here coaching JV Lacrosse.
Yep.
We just saw her coach the game before us right here, so it's nice to see Norwood having their own alumni, even though she was playing a different sport in college, but nice to have her back here.
Yeah, she was a 3-sport athlete here, right? Field hockey, and lacrosse.
Absolutely.
And just to have, just her presence, she's just an incredible athlete, incredible person. Involved with the program is huge. I was really happy when they were able to secure her as the JV coach. That was the final piece of the coaching puzzle.
It is a strong coaching staff for Norwood. Chrissy Pisa might be in her first year, at least on the roster, but we know obviously she worked with you for quite a while, and nice to see her now in the district even.
Yeah, Chrissy was here for 4 years from the get-go. Was super close to the end of her playing days, and at times I'm like, hey, you don't have a jersey on, you're not playing. But yeah, so a coaching standpoint, she was all set up. It's all the little administrative stuff that is what you got to learn and what you got to get used to. The league meetings, all those different things, setting up the field, making sure you're on the bus, setting the schedules, talking with the AD, all of that good stuff. And she'll learn that. She's obviously navigating, but the on-field stuff, Chrissy was set, ready to go, no problems.
And obviously those are the things that kind of go under the radar. I always appreciated how before the games you would walk the field with me, give me a little bit of the rundown of who's been playing well and who deserves some shout-outs on the air. So it's always...
I think it just enhances the broadcast for you guys, right? Fills
Absolutely.
the dead time and give the girls their credit when they're playing well. So
Well, selfishly, we're glad to have you up here now, and Norwood's got a good coaching staff as well. So let's see what the Mustangs are able to do now here in this second quarter of action as Bridget Sopel initiates the offense here into the zone. The teams have switched sides, so we're in our second of 12 quarters if you haven't watched a whole lot of lacrosse. And this is nice because it'll give us the opportunity to see some different girls kind of closer to our booth.
yeah, Meghan Malloy back in the game here at mid, number 14.
And Emily Spadorsha, who she had replaced earlier, is in there, so looks like
So it's probably giving Allie O'Neill a much-needed break. She does a lot.
Absolutely. Norwood kind of shaking and baking there with number 18. That's Emma Penza. Shay Larkey with it here.
Go,
nice
Quinn.
pass from her.
Nice.
As she gets it over to Quinn Brown, I believe, that collects the goal.
So another one not from the 8 meter, and they were running some cross action up at the top, and Quinn just kind of rolled the crease and got the feed and finished low. Nice play by Quinn right there.
So Quinn Brown gets the goal for Norwood. Brown is a sophomore. So again, the youth movement underway for the Mustangs, and a really nice assist there on the pass that she took from Larkey to kind of set her up.
Yeah, you look at Bellingham's roster. It seems to be a little senior heavy this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
In particular, where Norwood it seems to be a good mix. We had it last year, years before that. You get contributions from the sophomores, the freshmen, the juniors. It's good. Bodes well for the future.
They kind of learn by doing, I guess, right? Being out here and facing off. Obviously, the TVL has been quite strong. You get some good competitions when you're playing schools like Westwood and Medfield.
Ashland's is in that second tier. They're a really good competitive team.
We know last year, obviously, you guys saw Walpole in the tournament, a pretty solid team. But
yeah, drive to Walpole, go across the border, play number 2. Take your lumps.
That's it.
But that's one of the
get stronger, right?
Yeah, that's that stepping stone. You need, to build a program. You got to, advance rounds, and the higher up you go, the better the competition is. And yeah, Walpole, I think they lost in the state championship game.
Mm-hmm. So always interesting to see, especially with the new algorithms. Sometimes you end up playing schools that you've never heard of. I think for girls basketball a couple of years ago, we went up to Pentucket, and I didn't even know where that was.
Yep.
As Larkey moves in here, goes
lefty.
a little bit wide of the net as she took it, with the left hand. But interesting that you guys drew Walpole right in that second round.
Yeah.
Obviously, given the strength of the team, not the best draw, but not too far
whoever we were going to get at that point, whether it was NDA or anybody in that. Bill Ricker was, I think, in the top 4 or whatever. So
that's been a team I think you played here too at some point, right? Bill
We've
Ricker?
never played Bill. I think
okay.
that they've played soccer. Soccer's been here for Bill Ricker, I think, a few years
And Norwood gets another goal there.
I think that was Shay.
It looks like it's Shay Larkey with her second of the contest as she celebrates with the team.
So the good thing here is, like you had mentioned, a couple goals off of the 8 meter, and now they're starting to get in their offense. There's a lot of motion. You're watching Quinn roam around that crease, keep coming, get that defender moving, while there's other girls crisscrossing at the top trying to create that the confusion. So Shay, she's going to be mad that I say this, but earlier in the year she hit 100 points for her career in lacrosse. So for what she did on the field hockey field, and come up here and be a 100-point scorer in a second sport, which is actually probably her third sport. Pretty impressive.
Congratulations to Shay, and just adding to that total now, as it looks like I think Sopel might have taken a little bit of a shot to the face on that one, at least for a moment. And she handles that pretty quickly and dishes things off to her offense. So Emma Penza will have to scoop that up. Nice job by her on the ground ball there on the far side. Gets it back over for Larkey. Allie O'Neill now is back in the game wearing number 15, as we saw Meghan Malloy spelling her for a moment. O'Neill shaking and baking, takes the shot, and it goes in off the bounce.
Yeah, she's super smooth. Just a high IQ, very athletic, great stick skills, switching her hands, gets the spin move, lets it rip. I don't think the goalie was expecting that shot at all, right? She's a super. That was one of the players here that I was hoping she was going to be up here to play with Olivia and have a chance to coach her, because she's just, like I said, very high IQ lacrosse, great stick skills, and just very athletic, super smooth.
So it's a hat trick for Allie O'Neill as she's up to 3 today. She's got 3. Larky's got 2, at least from our count. And Spadorcia, Penza, and Quinn Brown also adding to that total. Norwood is now up 8-1 as they've had a highly successful first half.
Yeah, and they're doing well on the draw here too. I think they lost the first one and maybe lost one since then.
And now they come in with speed. Spadorcia looking for some room. Good defense on her by the Blackhawks, who kind of force her back out. But I think she might have taken a little too much contact there.
This is where you got to be careful if they're, that the roof starts caving in a little bit. You got to protect yourself here. The cross checks and the swinging of the sticks. So
let's see what Spadorcia does. She kicks it on over.
There's the hat trick for
and
number 19.
Norwood connects again. Shea Larky has a hat trick today. 2 players already have reached the triple goal mark, and Norwood is now up 9-1 as Shea Larky connects. Nice little outlet pass there from Spadorcia, who, like you said, Mike, maybe knew where some of that pressure was going to be coming from.
Yep. If we were privy to the coach's scorebook at the end of the game, you're going to see Spadorcia with at least 1 slash in every one of the categories. She does everything.
Fill the stat sheet kind of girl, right?
Yeah, and you can't win games without players like that just do whatever the team needs.
All right, so away we go. 9-1 so far.
NCM legend Mark Hoover roaming the stands.
Absolutely. We see him all over here at Murrayfield, doing the PA, doing announcing with us, and now catching some girls lacrosse action.
Another draw control for Norwood.
Nice work from the Mustangs as Allie O'Neill moves in. She's got 3 already. Takes kind of a sidearm shot. And hard to see from this angle exactly what happened there.
So they're going to call that again a shooting space because when she went to go, she had some separation. The girl came back in, so they'll take that off the board and hopefully she can get it in here.
Let's see what she does. A nice hard shot and a really nice play there from the Bellingham keeper. So Gianna Padula, who has faced a number of shots, obviously a very thankless job when you're under siege like this, makes a really nice play to deny the goal there from Mannering, who was searching for her 4th. So now Bellingham trying to split a couple of defenders. This is a tough spot for number 22, Shannon Marino. And eventually a whistle goes. Marino picks it back up. And Bellingham will initiate their offense once again. Number 20 is out there. That's Caden Shea, a senior. A lot of traffic there right around the 20, 25-yard line or so. Blackhawks finally find a player streaking in. This looks like number 2 looking for a backdoor opportunity. Kicks it instead for Shea, who drops the ball, and Norwood will pick it up.
Another transition here up to Madison Doucette.
So here's Madison Doucette getting a little bit of action here. You were saying she was playing a little bit of mid for you, I think, and nice to see her getting some action here on the offensive end.
Yeah, I think they moved her to attack this year. She's just a good athlete. You need her on the field, and you get that backlog at midi, and you just got to find a way to get good players onto the field.
Always nice to have a backlog at midi, right? Like you only have a couple of them.
We were attack heavy last year. We were thin at mid, so it seems to be a little bit of a reverse here.
6:43 to go here. We're in the second quarter of action. If you're just joining us, 9-1 in favor of the 5-3 Mustangs, who are looking to get their longest win streak of the season going as they're coming off 2 straight, trying to make it 3 in a row to close the week. They kick it on over for behind the net here as the Mustangs try to get some offense moving. There's a cut in front of the net from number 16 Doucette, but the Mustangs very happy to play pitch and catch right now. Still doing so behind the net as the Blackhawks defense watches and the shadows grow behind those trees. And finally, with Norwood moving in, we're going to see another violation against Bellingham. Yeah,
good aggressive play there. Again, they moved the last year we just simply called them the clumps. You just get a clump of players up top. You've got a 2-man game down low with Nora and Quinn. And Quinn just kept rolling and rolling and rolling, finally gets the ball, rolls out, and gets herself a shooting space. It's good aggressive play.
So let's see if Norwood is able to convert here. Quinn Brown moving in and does just that. Second goal of the game for Quinn Brown, number 26, as she contributes there from the line. And Norwood is up to double digits. And when Norwood hits double digits this year, Mike, they have been quite successful. 5-0 when they've scored at least 10 goals.
Yep. Yeah, just good aggressive play, good patient play between Quinn and Nora, waiting, not sending that ball to the cutter if there's somebody on them, and then Quinn just deciding, I'm going to throw the aggressive button and crease roll you, and gets herself to the 8-meter. Good aggressive play.
So we'll kind of keep an eye as time winds down here in the first half. Well, still 5:37 to go. But Norwood, we know, certainly has a deep bench as well, and I think we might be seeing some of that bench coming in, maybe at least in the second half, if Norwood is able to kind of hold on to the lead like this. But Bellingham does a nice job winning the draw. They get it to number 2, Lucy Walden, and although Lucy doesn't have any goals to her name yet, she has certainly been a presence for the Blackhawks so far, and someone who's maybe controlled the ball more than anyone on offense. So Walden will give it back for number 20, Caden Shea. We call Caden's name a lot as well, as the Mustangs watch her here.
And Bellingham just needs a set. They need to get a good quality offensive set, end with a good shot. Doesn't necessarily have to be a goal. You just want that confidence that, hey, we can set up our offense, give the defense a little rest, give the goalie a little rest.
They're certainly happy kind of taking that time, which I guess is something that you like to see. The team is looking for the right pass and things like that. Obviously not trying to rush into anything at the moment, although me saying that, I half expected Walden just to fire away at that moment in time.
Yep. Yeah, just build on something, right? Get a win right here. Get down, get your set. If you can score, great, but like I said, you want to end with at least a decent shot on net, something to build on. See what Norwood's defense has.
Make Mannering work at least.
Yep.
We know she's done a wonderful job of that so far. And so now Bellingham still with it, 4:23 to go, so plenty of time. Walden's watched by a couple of defenders for the Mustangs. And we will hear a whistle, and I think an opportunity for the Blackhawks.
Yeah, I think Bridget just got a little aggressive with the stick there, so she'll go behind.
So Sopel will watch as from the 12-meter mark, we get number 2, Lucy Walden. She gears up, gets ready for the whistle, and away we go. Walden wakes one move, now ducks around another defender, and kicks it back.
Good close off by Spud. Nice job to switch over.
The Mustang defense stepping up on the play. And now Bellingham will try to initiate the offensive again. Charlotte Martino here, guarding number 33 for the Blackhawks. 33 is Abby Pelletier. She is also a senior. Kicks it for number 15, Sophia Jandro. And there is one of those clumps, I guess, Mike, as we had 4 girls around the ball, and the ball finds its way to the ground.
Yeah, she drove right into traffic. Got lucky there. One of the girls must have got an illegal stick check there, so you're in that 8 meters, so here's your reward. See what Allie's got.
All right, so the shot coming in to Mannering. The Mustangs defense helps out big time, though.
Great job. Get to the stick.
And
nice
Mannering
job.
is able to pick it up and send the outlet pass really quickly. So textbook work there from the Mustang defense, able to deny Bellingham the opportunity from that 8-meter penalty line.
Yep, Meghan Malloy doing a nice job getting the transition started and dishes it off to old reliable 21. Bridgie will get it done.
Bridget kind of leaning in a little bit there. A little bit of physical play from her. We know she's not one to shy away.
Yep, not shy.
So 2:53 to go. The Mustangs not showing any sign of letting their foot off the gas, although I think we saw a yellow card just come out there.
Must have been a little too aggressive with the stick on that one.
Yeah, maybe. So the referees didn't really like that one, and Sopel looking back to her coach for some instructions here. 10-1 in favor of the Mustangs. They've gotten 3 goals from Allie O'Neill, 3 from Shea Larkey, and numerous other contributions from the offense and the defense alike. It's been a really nice start for Coach Pisa and Coach Bonist.
So let's see what they do. Their first opportunity up a player, and see if they take their time and work it.
So the Mustangs now with the one-person advantage. We'll see if we can get Madison Doucette going. Kicks it over for the top and Allie O'Neill. So Norwood clearly looking for their opportunity, being patient with it right now, up 9. Shea Larkey thinking about it. Dishes it back for, number 14.
It's
Norwood's
Meghan.
got out there. That's Meghan Malloy. And Bellingham comes away with it.
Yep.
Nice defense from the Blackhawks. That was led by number 22 for them, which is, Shannon Marino.
Good redefend right there. Meghan caused the turnover right there, which is huge. Gets the ball back for the Mustangs.
So now O'Neill with it as she takes the pass from Nora Staunton. Larkey drops it at least for the moment, but quickly grabs it. Shea's been pretty good on those ground balls today as she has collected them pretty smoothly when the opportunity has come. Here's Larkey again, moves in now, trying to find some
nice
space.
look.
But a good pass from her, and what a strong finish there.
Allie O'Neill.
Norwood dunks in the goal with Allie O'Neill. Give the assist to Larkey. Give the goal to Allie O'Neill, who's got 4 today. And that was a beautiful pass, Mike, opening her up.
Just a great play. They kind of crisscross, bring the defenders together. Allie slips through between, and like you said, Shea just drops the perfect pass in there. Allie just has to turn around and realize she has more time than she would think. A lot of girls would just turn and rip, pump fakes, and buries it. Like I said, very, very high IQ, great stick work for Allie. I think the coaching staff is very happy with their freshman mid.
Absolutely. You can't argue with the results so far. She's got 4 already tonight. And certainly if you're Bellingham, you've got to respect Larkey's ability to shoot on that. And I'm sure that opened up the opportunity.
Yeah. Having 19 out there is always a benefit because the defense always has to worry about that. So
this one goes off of Larkey's cross just as we were singing her praises. And it comes over for Doucette, and Larkey gets it right back. So 47 seconds to go. The Mustangs searching for another. O'Neill wants another herself. And she's going to get it.
Yep, so smooth.
Kind of snuck it in there on the far side.
With, 38, 39 seconds left. So this is probably just by the time they get this draw set up, that'll probably be the end of the half. But, yeah, Allie again just finding her way through the defense, weaving her way through, and just so smooth at the finish.
So Allie O'Neill with 5 goals. I thought when she had 4, we were going to be talking about that at halftime, but she says, no, give me one more.
We're going to go to 5.
If Norwood does decide, hey, we're going to get some other girls an opportunity here, Allie has made her mark on the game for sure. So 3 seconds left on the clock. We're going to do the draw anyway. Yeah, Norwood gets a little ground ball on the ledger of Bridget Sopel, but that closes out, Mike Lodge, a very successful first half for the Mustangs as they are up 12-1.
Yeah, offense is doing their thing. Like I said, transition continued to be good. And a lot of times when you get a team down like that, they tend to back off a little bit. So let's see how they do when they come out the beginning of the second half, see if Bellingham gives them, try to punch Norwood in the face here a little bit and wake them up and say, hey, we're still here. And how does Norwood come out and try to keep them down and finish the game? So very, very good first half. And hopefully we get to see some of the bench players come in and make some contributions and get some experience.
Absolutely. We look forward to calling maybe some other names coming up soon. We hope you will join us on the other side here on NCM. A fast-moving game on a beautiful day here in late April. Join us on the other side in a moment. It is 12-1 Norwood. All right, hello, folks, and welcome back to Norwood High School. It's Joe Pinola and Mike Lodge with you on the call for what's already been a really nice start for the Mustangs. They are up 12-1 on the Bellingham Blackhawks. The Mustangs trying to move to 6-3 on the year. Already gotten 5 goals from Allie O'Neill, 3 from Shea Larkey, 2 from Quinn Brown, and a couple other girls getting on the score sheet as well. And Mike, as we see Larkey move into the there's Sopel there at the top of the arc. I think we got a couple substitutions to start the second half.
Yeah, looks like my girl Kate D in the game. Shout out to Kate.
Kate Donovan, a great kid. I've got her in my win block this year. So nice to see her out here on the field, getting an opportunity here. And I imagine we're going to see some different players with Norwood holding a pretty sizable lead, at least for the moment. Although Coach Pisa still putting a lot of her starters out there as the Mustangs look to put some more goals on the board. Bridget Sopel taking some time here. Looks back for Larkey. Larkey's already got a few goals and a few assists on her ledger. Mustangs get it behind the net. And a little bit harder to see kind of from our angle. Bellingham, I think, have they switched up their goalie, it looks like?
Looks like it, yeah.
We'll get confirmation on that in a moment. But I tell you, a really nice job from number 27, Gianna Padula. That is never easy to kind of throw somebody into that spot. And she made a couple big saves, although Norwood's onslaught obviously yielded 12 goals for them. The Mustangs still very content with taking their time. Now Larkey gets baking and throws this shot wide of the net. But Norwood is there to claim possession pretty quickly. So the Blackhawks with, I think it looks like we got a number 30 in there. I think that's number 30, Isabella Acuna. We'll get confirmation on that in a moment.
Yeah, I was trying to see it. Thought it was
always tougher with the girls because you get the long hair off the
covering
back,
the number.
Harder to see the numbers. Although, as you and I were talking about before the game, very different than I think it's soccer that has the yellow outline numbers. We appreciate that Norwood's got the blue at least here. Quinn Brown moves in and does a nice job connecting on a shot pretty high on the net. That is the third goal of the game for Brown, as she's got a hat trick, the third Mustang to do that so far. Just about 2 minutes here into the second half.
Yeah, again, Quinn with the nice hat trick, but just that motion coming from behind the cage on the roll. And shout out to one of our fans down in Virginia, apparently older sister Kaylee, watching from James Madison right now. Hi, Kaylee.
All right. Hi there, Kaylee. Kaylee was a student of mine in class, did a nice job in physics, and hope she's doing well down there.
Yeah, Kaylee bailed us out. My second year, we didn't have a goalie. We came to tryouts, and there was nobody in pads. Kaylee came to me and said,
and
Coach,
she volunteered,
She volunteered and did a fantastic job for us. Got us into the tournament for the first time in a long time as our starting goalie.
And the program has been on the up kind of since then. Last season, I believe you guys are right at 500. And the Mustangs right here on the verge of potentially going 6-3 if they're able to close this one on out. And Kaylee, certainly not the last of the Browns to be playing on the Norwood Lacrosse
team. And there's
team.
one more coming.
And Quinn's already got 3 goals on her ledger today. Michaela, I believe, has been out there on defense quite a bit.
Yeah, Michaela, another talk about another kid that just takes one for the team. Michaela was an attacker coming up out of the youth program, and as I said, we had a backlog there. And you need somebody like Michaela on the field, good, strong athlete, and made the switch to defense and has done a great job for the last couple of years here. So
another multi-sport athlete. She plays some hockey and was a really important part of that team this year.
Yep, team captain this year. Just a great kid. I mean, great family. Tracy and Jim did a nice job with these girls. And Michaela, really good hockey player. They work hard. And they love to play. Nice pass by Bridgie.
Look at that pass from Sopel. Big save right off the start, but then Larkey finishes up. She kind of collects her own rebound there and gets the goal, which I don't know how exactly the scoring is going to work. If that takes the assist away from Sopel, that's a shame because she made a beautiful first pass.
Technically it does, but that's just a heads-up play. Bridget takes a peek to her left and sees 19 sitting there unguarded all alone on the far hash and delivers the pass, and then obviously the reflexes from Shea, to catch that rebound and bury it.
So number 31, it looks like, is now in goal.
And she's
for
not
the
on the
Blackhawks.
roster.
So apologies if we are misattributing her, but and maybe it is Isabella Acuna. We don't know, but she's listed as 30 on our roster, and we'll hopefully get. At some point, maybe we'll get that name for you. But a nice job in the first half from Gianna Padula, and now Bellingham has a new keeper in. But the attention right now is on Norwood's big and growing lead. They are up 14-1, and you might want to look out if you're the Norwood mark so far of 19 goals in the contest, as that could fall the way that they're playing. A lot of Norwood starters still remaining in the game, although we've seen a sprinkling of the bench starting to come in. Kate Donovan started the second half, and looks like we still have most of the starters on the offensive end in there. As Norwood continues, it's been a very, very successful week. Coach Pisa may be hoping that this will be the sign of some good things to come here.
There you go, Kate.
Here's Donovan trying to get a chance on goal. Kicks it back out for Spadorsha. So Kate kind of getting to play with all of Norwood's goal scorers right now. Nice opportunity for her. And she touched it just a moment ago near the net. Now Spadorsha, who already has a goal in this contest, kicks it wide. Norwood scoops it up really nicely with Quinn Brown, who was kind of in the right spot to collect that errant pass. And now Larkey back to the top here. Spadorsha will look for some more space, wearing number 17, a number that's been very familiar to her on the field hockey field, on the ice hockey rink. And Shea Larkey with the number 19, very familiar as well. Larkey kicks it back to Spadorsha as those two play a bit of pitch and catch. And Spadorsha throws a beautiful shot on net. Kind of came out of nowhere, made her own shot, and she's got 2 today. Norwood's got 15.
Yep, Spud got the defender on her hip, kind of rolled to one side, came back the other, and let it rip. Again, that's probably 3 shots now that I think the Bellingham goalies weren't expecting that they were coming because they were a little further out. So nice job for Spud. Good reward for Euro Spuddy Spud.
And Norwood now going to their bench a little bit as Shea Larkey gets a much-deserved rest. And I think that's Mackenzie Conley coming in, number 7. So
Kenzie,
Kenzie will get an opportunity here, looks like to play some defense at least here at the start.
I'm going to guess,
midfield.
is Bridgie up on the circle? I'm going to guess that Mackenzie's probably in at mid, and
All right.
Bridgie just might be on the circle.
So we'll get the word on that in just a moment as we get ready for the draw. 4:50 remaining here in the third quarter. We are glad you're joining us, whether you're coming to us from Norwood, from Bellingham, or somewhere else. We get viewers from all over the country sometimes here on NCM. And Norwood immediately going into the offensive end, and it's Allie O'Neill with nobody around her. Throws a backhanded shot over her shoulder. Mike, did that go through? Unbelievable.
Little BTB. Like I said, she's got really good stick skills.
Very impressive as O'Neill moved in. She had space in front of her, although Bellingham was closing in. But check that out. Not sure if we were really able to get that on replay.
They took that monitor from us, and they're not going to be able to verify that.
But that was a beautiful job. I wasn't sure myself the way she kind of threw it over the back shoulder. But either way, a double hat trick now for Allie O'Neill, and Norwood's got 16 as their offensive engine is humming lately. So 3:54 to go now as the Mustangs scored in short order off that last draw. They now are up to, let's see, by my count, we've got 5 different goal scorers. You mentioned they had 9 different goal scorers against Norton.
Yep, they were. The coaches were really happy with that, which is good. Spreads it out.
Absolutely.
Gets people involved.
And I know that was a source of pride for you when you were able to spread the scoring out, and obviously for this staff as well.
Yeah, we were always lucky. We had 2 or 3 big-time scorers, and then a bunch of on the secondary that can fill it up as well. So it's good to get everybody does their part.
Last year we were calling the Olivias a whole bunch, but obviously you had to have a lot of other players kind of setting them up and collecting those assists and other goals as well. So let's see Mackenzie Conley here as she struggles picking up her first touch, but does a nice job of kind of sticking with it as she's watched very closely by Marino here for Bellingham. Marino continuing to pester her. Nice job there playing some defense by the freshman. Shannon Marino is the only freshman on the Bellingham roster, and we have called her name quite a lot here, so impressive work from her. Emily Spadorcia now right in front of us, having some trouble collecting it, showing some good sportsmanship as she recognizes that Taylor was the one that took it away. And now the Bellingham offense goes to work. Abigail Pelletier, a senior with some space, moves in on Charlotte Martino. Pelletier looking for some room, but she doesn't find it and wisely doesn't pull the trigger.
Great help defense there. Charlotte pushed her out, passed her off to Evan. Good job of closing that off.
Evan O'Neill has been rock steady on this Norwood defense now for a number of years, doing the same thing on the field hockey field. And Evan even helping us out on camera work for NCM over the winter. Saw her at a couple hockey games as well helping out. So she is certainly someone who is as well-rounded as they come.
Yeah, Evan does a nice job communicating with the D, calling out the switches, where the ball is. Does a nice job.
You got to have somebody with good eyes and a strong voice to do that, don't you?
Yep.
So let's see what Bellingham's able to do here as their offense gets to work. Charlotte Martino battling there with, I think that was number 2, Lucy Walden. As Walden goes down and we hear a whistle, maybe a little too aggressive on Martino's part.
Yeah, stayed right with her, though.
Charlotte seemingly has been in the right place for a lot of this contest, and that's been one of the reasons that Bellingham only has the lone goal from Rihanna Taylor so far. That goal came back when it was a 2-1 Norwood lead.
Before the whistle. She went before the whistle.
Yeah, a little bit early there as Lucy Walden, the senior captain, I'm sure was quite eager on that.
Yep.
But maybe took a couple steps too early, and Norwood catches a bit of a break here with a minute to go in the third quarter.
So nice job by Charlotte. Both coaches, Coach Bonist and Coach Pisa, both singled her out and said that she's played so well this year, upped her game. So good for Charlotte. Great kid, works hard. Her dad's the #1 fan. You always hear him screaming out there, "Let's go, Norwood." All
right. Norwood has gotten some pretty good fan support out here today.
Yep.
I think we see Officer Rooney down there as well as a whole bunch of other onlookers. So, nice to see the Norwood fans being treated to this offensive explosion that we've seen so far.
Yep.
And a real nice defensive performance as Norwood hasn't given up a goal since that first quarter. Although I've certainly got to be aware of that announcer jinx now.
Yeah.
As Shannon Marino brings it up for Bellingham. Nice job by the Mustangs as they get in the way of that pass. Looked like, was that number 16?
16.
Madison Doucette getting in the way of that.
Yep.
Nice defensive work from her.
Nora slowing her down now to get it inside 10 seconds here.
So if Norwood wants to add another goal, they're going to have to hurry. Conley gets stick-checked a little bit there. the Mustangs will keep possession, but that will kind of be for naught. As we hear another whistle right at the tail end, but another good performance here from the Mustangs. Not as many goals here in the third quarter, but the defense continues to shine and did a really nice job against some good Bellingham pressure there.
Yeah, good to see Bellingham get some sets and then to see the defense come up. So I wouldn't be surprised here if we see Joanne Yamoa jump in for the fourth here, and then coaching staff starts to sprinkle in some more of the subs.
So Joanne, after playing maybe the entirety of the JV game, maybe we get her a little bit more action.
Yeah,
huh?
Why not?
No rest for the weary.
Experience. We'll see.
And it is the last game of the week for the Mustangs, but Bellingham is right back at it tomorrow. So that's always interesting. They have the long drive. They have I think this is the longest trip within the TVL. They came all the way to Norwood, obviously playing tonight at 5:30. At least they are home tomorrow, but they take on a pretty good Ashland team. Bellingham, tough. Who is on the verge of going 0-10. That could be a pretty rough turnaround for them. Yep.
And I just see Allie's helmet is off and Joanne's is on. So to see Joanne play.
Good eyes from here. So we're going to get a look at number 42. Joanne Yamoa is coming in to play goal for Norwood as she gets that last minute of hearing Coach Pisa give the team some instructions. And I imagine we'll see some other players getting a chance not only to play here, but to kind of be on TV a little bit.
That's right.
Hopefully we'll be able to call them out and get them some shout-outs here.
Yeah, see if we maybe get Regan Pritchard in here. Her big sister played here last year down at Providence now. And Chrissy told me that she got her first varsity goal the other day and was one of those 9 goal scorers against Norton. So
it wouldn't be a surprise maybe if we see the goal streak maybe aim to continue.
There you go.
For Regan if she's able to get in. Norwood obviously has gotten a lot of contributions so far, even though we say only 5 goal scorers, but the assists are piling up as well.
Yep. Good ball movement. That's what you like to see.
Absolutely. So NCM is bringing you a lot of sports. I know next week we've got a baseball game live on Friday night. Always nice to see a nice night baseball game. I think we're going to have somehow they have agreed to let the trio of Mark Hoover and I and Eric Bodenhofer call that game. So we are excited to be out there.
Mount Rushmore of NCM.
So we always like to do a trio of announcers for baseball. Baseball is a little bit slower paced.
Yeah, you need a little bit more of that the dead air, right?
That's right, kind of fill it in a bit. But, NCM's been covering a lot of sports this year. I know Mark Hoover and his son were calling Zavarian, the baseball game against Zavarian at Zavarian. We've gotten boys lacrosse. They actually kicked off our season. And even boys tennis we got to see last week. So.
I actually saw part of that broadcast. I watched a little bit.
Tennis always fun to do. That was a cold one by the end of it as we were up there on the bleachers.
But that must be hard to do because aren't there multiple matches going on at the same time? So you're trying to watch the whole thing and keep up with who's up and who's down. So
the one good thing is you know who's on the court. There are no substitutions on the fly coming in, so at least you know which players you got, and I actually have a couple of those kids in class, so that's always nice to see.
Yep.
And Norwood snuck a win in that tennis match, thanks to some of their doubles teams as well. So that's always neat to see.
Yep. So it looks like we got defense. It looks like Maddie Sopel in the game, sophomore, played swing for us last year. We got Sam Sullivan back out there, and then so it looks like Evan and Michaela will kind of bolster them with the substitutions. And there's Regan. Regan is in the game.
I think I see Kate Donovan still out there wearing number 4, so a little bit of a lineup shakeup for the Norwood coaches, but obviously you like keeping some of those experienced players out there as well, kind of helping them out. Bellingham now moving in. They've got a clear shot. And Bellingham gets the goal. Good work from them as we kind of await the turning around to collect the number. I think that was number 33. It's Abigail Pelletier. And she gets the goal, and kind of a rude introduction to Joanne Yamoa, who has kind of entered the game. Not much she could do there as Pelletier had some good space ahead of her on offense. Yeah, she could see she had a step on the defender, took it hard to the net. And like you said, Joanne looks up and there's somebody standing at the top of the crease. That's a tough ask at the, you haven't even seen a shot yet. Right. She didn't even warm up for this because, like you said, she played the JV game. Right, so she's faced her
she's
shots
cooled
there,
down.
takes a long break.
Yep.
I guess the equivalent of like a rain delay in a baseball game, right?
Exactly.
She's the pitcher who's sitting on the sidelines for almost an hour in real time and comes back in. So not an easy task. And we were talking earlier, Joanne, another one of those well-rounded, great kids. Here's Meghan Malloy with a chance, wearing number 14, as Regan Pritchard is right around with her. Regan trying to make it a 2-game goal-scoring streak, as Mike was mentioning moments ago.
So great play by Nora right there. Nobody really seemed to want to take that control of the ball. Bellingham gets it, and Nora with the stick check from behind. Nora was a player for me last year, never took her off the field. She's just so smart, always in the right place, calm and cool. Told her at the end of the year, like, next year, let's work on getting a little more aggressive. Let's get a little juice going, right? But yeah, just steady Eddie, such a high IQ. Loved coaching Nora.
Yeah, Nora's right back out there wearing number 10, Nora Staunton. And as a freshman, I believe, last year for you,
correct,
right? So
correct, yeah.
For a freshman to play those numbers of minutes on the varsity level, that speaks to...
Starter from day one, and I would, we would rotate. Like I said, we only had the 3 mids. When we take a mid off, I'd slide her to mid and sub an attacker. There
you go.
Just wanted to keep her on the field.
Anything to get her playing, right?
Correct.
So 9:38 to go here in the fourth quarter. Norwood has been in an offensive heater all day, although the pace has slowed a little bit here now. But they're certainly happy to take their time and search out the right shot. This one goes a little bit wide of Kate Donovan, but Norwood is able to keep possession. And now Regan Pritchard looking for an opportunity. Kicks it back out for Bridget Sopel. And the Mustangs now with Emily Spadorsha trying to get things going. Spud's got a couple of goals herself, but unable to find some room here with 9 minutes left. Kicks it over to the side for number 14, Meghan Malloy, and now for Pritchard. Now Norwood behind the goal. 8:56 to go as the Blackhawks play some pretty good defense trying to keep Norwood away. The Blackhawks have number 31 in goal after Gianna Padula started them and paced them through the first half. There's a low shot. That finds the back of the goal. Emma Penza looks like number 18.
Yep, just a great job. Got her, used her athletic ability, started the roll, and at that point the defender's still in front of her. So if she tries for an overhand shot, she's going to get called for a dangerous shot. Gets the stick below her kneecaps and rips one low, buries it. Very, very heads-up play by Emma. So
a smart move there. It's always nice to have somebody who knows a bit about lacrosse up here in the booth with us. And Emma does a great job. We were speaking of Nora Staunton, how she was so important to you last year as a freshman who played a ton of minutes. Emma Penza seems to be doing just that as a freshman this year, who I don't believe that Coach Pisa has really taken her off the field today.
Yeah, she's been out there the entire time.
So let's see if Norwood's able to keep it going. They've got 17 at the moment, and they've got 7 minutes and 50 seconds about to see if they can get to that 20-goal mark, which they haven't been able to reach so far. So Bellingham searching for their second still. They scored a goal about 5 minutes into the contest. Actually, searching for their third. They scored about 5 minutes into the contest from Rihanna Taylor. And very early on in the fourth quarter, they got a goal from Abby Pelletier, who found some space and was able to put it past Joanne Yamo. Norwood had Allie Mannering in goal for the first 3 quarters. And Allie did a great job, came up with some pretty big saves. And now Joanne will be tasked with doing the same. Here comes number 2, Lucy Walden. And Walden showing some good moves. She's had opportunities today, and now she is on the scoreboard. Number 2 collects the goal for the Blackhawks.
Finished strong on that one. Got a step on, I think it was Michaela, and just got underneath her. And she came across. She finished hard.
Yeah,
she wanted to leave no doubt on that one. And again, not much Joanne can do on that. That's a good finish.
Maybe a little bit of frustration on that shot coming through from a senior captain who's been good today. She's been around the ball a whole lot, and now she gets on the scoreboard, and you like to see that for Bellingham.
Little exclamation point on the end of that one.
Absolutely. So Taylor will go right back to work as she takes the draw here, I believe, against Sopel, as those two have been knotted up a lot. Nice work from Bridget to win it, and they collect the ground ball pretty quickly. And she will usher things into the offensive end pretty fast. So now Norwood happy to slow things down. Meghan Malloy, number 14, looking for some space. Meghan has played a lot off the bench today. She didn't start, but she's gotten a number of minutes and has been a staple here in this fourth quarter, at least so far.
Meghan's just a good athlete. You watch her play defense. You watch her footwork. Miss McDonald's is out there smiling somewhere because it's all basketball. The footwork is impeccable on how she sets up. So basketball translates very well to lacrosse, especially on the defensive end.
You kind of see that with the way some of these girls kind of get down low, kind of call for the
dig
shot.
In. You watch the footwork. Yep.
So let's see now. Regan Pritchard kicks it over for the side. Nice job by the Mustangs. They're on the near side handling that pass as it almost got away from Pritchard for a moment. And now behind the net now. 5:23 to go. A pass for the middle that was intended for Spidorsha, but a nice scoop by Walden, who shows some good speed to the sideline and makes a beautiful outlet pass to number 20.
Number 2 at it again.
Here comes Caden Shea now as she kicks it up for number 1, Rihanna Taylor. Taylor had the first Bellingham goal today, looking for her second, but can't find some room as the Norwood defense closed in very nicely on her.
Good job of sliding over and closing that off. There was 3 of them over there. Created a little wall, forced her behind the net.
So a nice spot for the Norwood defense to step up and help out their keeper Yamo, who played a whole lot in the JV game and now is right back in here for varsity, playing as a swing player today. Number 33 is Abby Pelletier. She's got a goal already today, and once again, Norwood swarms her defensively. Looks like we saw Evan O'Neill in that bunch.
That was the Sopel sisters shutting that off.
There we go.
Maddie coming over, and big sister gives her a little bit of help.
And there's a nice save from Yamo.
Yep.
Collects it right in that cross. Almost has it taken out of her back pocket. And now it looks like there's a little bit of a battle for the ground ball.
And in it goes.
And Bellingham kicks it through. Not exactly sure
what are they
about
going
the
to
goal
call
for the Blackhawks as we see a little bit of confusion on the whistle. Referee explaining things over to the player. Yamo made a beautiful first save on that one.
So yeah, she made the save. She was kind of in no man's land outside of the crease. She can't come back into the crease with the ball in her stick. And then they checked it out. And I think once it got in there, they must have reached into the crease and rolled that in. That's why it got called back.
So either way, give Joanne the save, and a nice job from her to not ultimately allow that to go through. And the referees obviously talking things over and making sure they got the call right.
Yep, good to get that first save in there.
Absolutely, and it was a pretty clean one from her too.
Yep.
As that went right in there. So nice to see her coming off the bench.
Yep.
Exactly. So a lot of playing goal is just your positioning, right?
Absolutely.
I'm sure Kaylee will tell you, listening, playing goal for you, and Allie Mannering, who played the first 3 quarters.
And that was Chrissy's thing. Chrissy was a goalie in high school and college, and just having her on staff, teaching the girls the angles, punching with their hands, all of that. She's done an incredible job with the goalies all through the system.
So 2:53 to go here as we're in the closing moments. Norwood obviously with a sizable lead. They will move to 6-3 after this contest, as Bellingham will watch their record fall to 0-10. Bellingham had a season a couple of years ago when they weren't able to get into the win column. They picked up 3 last year, but no wins within conference, so they'll be searching for that. They almost collected their first conference win about a week ago, and they fell 11-10 against Norton. So you've got to believe that Bellingham is kind of itching to get back at it, and they'll get that opportunity tomorrow against Ashland.
A good look from Emma back there going to Meghan. Meghan gets wrestled down. She'll get herself to the 8. So shout out to Coach Bonist. Came to us last year as a new freshman English teacher here at the high school, and is kind of our offensive guru here. And it's nice to see. I think she's going to be happy with. Oh, there's a save, but she's going to be happy with the motion in the offense, not just the set plays. I think they were struggling with that the offense would get stagnant. So it's a good day for Coach B and the offense.
Absolutely. We thought so early on when Norwood is 4 of 4 from that 8-meter line to kind of start the contest. We were saying, hey, they scored 4 goals in a row, but they've all kind of come off that penalty play.
Yep.
But since then, the Norwood offense has been buzzing.
Yeah, there's a lot of motion. So I think, Coach B is going to be very happy tomorrow if she looks at the film and sees it, or what she can see with her own eyes here. So
she has been such a valuable addition at the high school. We're happy to have her in our English department, and obviously getting involved in athletics as well, which was her calling card. I believe somebody else who played in college on the Norwood staff. And Bellingham now gets another goal here.
Yep, another one I think that crept up on Joanne. They didn't think that shot was coming.
So apologies, we didn't quite get it. We'll have to roll back the replay on that one on our cameras.
Yeah, because we didn't know it was coming either.
Absolutely, they snuck it by us. But,
right.
You know, Bellingham, towards the end of this game, you're able to now put up 4 goals. They put up 3 in the second half. Actually, I believe 3 in the fourth quarter. So the team may be coming together a little bit here. Certainly something to feel good about as they head back with the long bus ride and the game coming up tomorrow. The Mustangs with 17 on the board right now. We'll see if they're able to scratch another one across. As this one takes a little bit of a shot at one of the Bellingham players. Not sure if the ball hit her or maybe if Sopel's cross on the backswing. We got a player down on Bellingham right in the middle of the field and the trainer immediately coming out there.
I think that just might have been some incidental contact with Spud. They were both going for the ball, and I think when Spud bumped into her, I think she just went down. She might have gone down hit first.
All right, so
didn't look intentional. Spud's not that kind of player.
Absolutely, and the Bellingham, I believe the Bellingham coach out there, the trainer out there, giving that a look. So 25.7 seconds left to go. As I think we see Spud taking a little bit of a breather here, or at least going over to the sideline.
Yeah, she got a card then. Yeah, she must have got the yellow card. Unintentional. I didn't see anything there that was outside of just a player trying to get to a loose ball. Hopefully Bellingham player is all right. Looks like she's getting ready to start coming up.
Yeah, and I think, did I catch number 15 there?
You did.
Looks like it. Number 15 is Sophia Jandro. So she gets a nice round of applause from the fans here in Norwood that have turned out to be a pretty sizable cheering section. So nice to see the sportsmanship from the Norwood fans. Jandro's kind of got her hand up towards her head.
Yeah, so she might have caught the stray stick and then went as she went down. So yeah, kind of gets no helmets.
Yeah, exactly.
Sticks hurt, right? So you know that's why they're very everyone. Oh, why so many whistles? Well, they're trying to protect the girls' heads. So
exactly. We see that same kind of thing happening in field hockey, right? And these balls are not light.
Yep.
There is a hard shot from Lucy Walden.
Yep.
We knew she had a missile when she scored a little while ago.
Yep.
And now Bellingham trying to sneak another through. It was Pelletier who was right there on the doorstep.
Coach should call her timeout because why aren't they? Oh, it's because of the 10 goal rule. Good. She called the timeout at the official time. Yeah. So she can get the 8 meter and try to get one and get on the bus.
Pelletier does get on the bus with a goal. So 2 tonight from Abby Pelletier. That'll close the game, and nice to see that. You get a good conclusion from Bellingham here, getting 4 goals in the fourth quarter. But Norwood is the story today. They win 17-5, and they are on a 3-game win streak to close the week out as they get ready to take on Ashland in a dogfight on Monday.
Yeah, so that's like you said. The Norwood came out swinging early, got up big, and never really looked back. And then, like you said, for Bellingham, a team that's reeling a little bit, to finish the game the way they did, it's something to build on, get back on the bus. You know, the coach can have something positive to talk about. It's always a good thing. We would try to do that when we would play a Westwood or something like that.
Right.
Just try to build on at the end of the game. Let's get something positive to talk about.
All right. Well, thanks to our wonderful crew here, but I think if you will stick around with us, we're going to get an interview coming up.
A little post-game interview? All right.
Yeah, don't go too far, folks. You'll be rewarded for sticking with us on the broadcast. But as the teams shake hands and we get the identity of who we're going to be interviewing here, I imagine somebody that you know quite well, whoever it is, we'll give a little shout-out to our crew today. We kind of brought a lot of the NCM team today. Ron Marshalsea was kind of out here from the start.
Yeah, Meghan,
Jack
made
Corbett
an appearance.
is out there, who's helping us coordinate the interviews. Jack Tolman back from Italy now, I believe.
Yeah, made an appearance up top.
So
took our video, took our screen.
Danielle DeMattia was doing some camera work for us. I saw Sam Gurney just a moment ago, and I believe Sammi Wood as well, who's kind of learning the ropes. So we've really got a good crew, and we hope you enjoyed the broadcast today. And it looks like we're going to get an interview coming up here real shortly. Congratulations. How does it feel to see the team get a lot of different opportunities and get a pretty big win, 3 in a row now for you guys?
Yeah. Thank you. I think it was just it's really nice when we connect those passes on offense and we're all playing our hardest, and it really helps us win to the end. And it's just everyone's hustle and determination to win that really makes us such a great team.
Yeah, Allie, did we see a BTB down there?
Yeah.
Atta girl. It's good stuff.
I think that was the 6th goal, right?
I think something like that. So good for you. Incredible freshman year so far. How you obviously you're adjusting well coming from the youth program to the high school. What's been the biggest difference?
Honestly, I would think just like the speed, because youth it's a little slower, but like once you get to high school, it's like a fast movement on offense, defense, quick transitions. But I feel like you just got to get like a couple games in to really adjust to the speed, and then you're all set for the season. Yeah,
you've adjusted well. We've been saying it the entire broadcast. I don't know if you're going to be able to watch it on a replay, but incredibly smooth player. Stick skills and your IQ is off the charts. So,
Thank you.
Great job.
All right.
Anything else, Joe?
Yeah, Allie, I'm looking down at the last couple of contests. 19 goals for the team against Norton, 18, 17 tonight. What's been working the last couple of games that really has the offense clicking?
I think we're all just playing hard. We're all playing smart. We're keeping our heads up to like find those looks on offense, and I think we all just trust each other with the ball enough to like really like connect everything on offense.
So, Allie, just to the offensive point, is Coach B been trying to get you guys to not rely on the set plays so much and just get into a standard motion and try to get people to cut through, and it seemed to be working today and scored a few goals off of that.
Yeah, we're just beginning to like get a little bit busy off ball, like instead of doing plays. It's like we've been working on it at practice, and I think it's really going to work out for us in the end because we're already applying it to the games now, and yeah.
Okay. Well, good luck against, is it Ashland up next?
I believe so, right?
Yeah.
You can correct me if I'm wrong, Allie.
Yep.
Well, we've been saying it, but certainly a tough
and
opponent.
I think you've played them already, right? So you know that's a hard game. And then Medway, I think, is right after, which is going to be a team that's going to be very competitive, and they're going to need everything you got for that. So good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Spoken like a true coach. Thank you, Allie. You did a great job in that interview, and good luck. Go celebrate with that team a little bit.
Thank you.
All right. Allie O'Neill, who put on a show today, 6 goals, and I'm sure there were a couple assists that were sprinkled in. But
yep. Yeah, we don't track those up here, though, right?
That's right. We'll have to check down there on the score sheet. But it's a pleasure to do it with you, Mike.
Yeah, it was
nice
great. I've been looking
booth.
forward to it. We tried to put it together a couple weeks ago and been kind of looking forward to it. And you guys always do a fantastic job covering the teams, and it's nice to be a part of it.
Well, we're happy to bring the game to you today. A beautiful day it ended up being, a little bit better than the last time these two teams faced off.
Yeah,
in the cold
I
of
would
Bellingham.
say.
And I think the team's very happy about that. But
yeah, 28 degrees to 75 or whatever it is. It's a big difference.
Thank you to Ron, Meghan, Jack, Danielle, Sammi, Sam. I apologize if I'm missing anyone, but our wonderful crew here at NCM that always makes us look good. And the final score today from Murray Field, 17 for Norwood, 5 for Bellingham, who closed it out with a final goal there at the end. A nice job as the Mustangs move to 6-3.
Yep, great game for the Mustangs. Good day to be a Mustang.
Absolutely. Have a good night, folks. We will see you at our broadcast very soon.